Hi, One Forum News brings you the best. Please kindly subscribe to this channel. Your comments and your likes will be highly appreciated. Yes, today we are going to take a look at one particular thing about politics in Africa. I'm talking about all politicians in Africa. They do it, whether you believe it or like it or not. That is nepotism. Yes, what is nepotism? Simply put, is about favoring or giving juicy appointment or contract or positions or opportunities to your immediate family members. We are talking about your children, we are talking about your cousins, we are talking about your siblings, we are talking about your parents, your aunties, your uncles, just your immediate family. That is nepotism because you are dealing with people that belongs to you or have a blood relation with you. You can also talk about favoritism. That to some extent also happen when it comes to politics. But today, let's zero in on nepotism. Yes, a lot of you out there, including myself, we frown on that. We complain about that because it's not in our favor. And I know very well that if it were to be in our favor, we'll not complain about it. Let's take a look at a very practical example. Let's assume that you out there, yes, Mr. Gentleman or lady out there, you are the one that has the opportunity to have the opportunity to be the president of a certain country. You can talk about South Africa, or South Africa, or you can talk about Libya, or you can talk about Nigeria, you can talk about Ghana, you can talk about Rwanda, you can talk about Uganda, or any other country in Africa or all over the world. You are the president. Does that mean that your children, if they are very, very educated and they have the opportunity to work, they shouldn't work? Is that what we are saying? That's the question number one. Question number two, what about your siblings? Does that mean that once you are the president of a given country, your siblings cannot work or your family members cannot work? That is not the case. That is why all the time in Africa, we are getting this issue about nepotism wrong. But the question we should be asking as we criticize people is, now, the people that are being put in positions, do they have the qualification? Can they do the work? That is what we should focus on, not necessarily because Mr. A is a relation of the president or Mr. B is the son or daughter of the president. That person shouldn't occupy a position, or that person shouldn't work. It shouldn't be so, but that is sadly what is happening to Africa. You know, most often than not, we are quick to criticize people without putting ourselves in the shoes of those people. If were you, you would have done the same because you can't be at the top of a tree and allow your people to eat the unripe fruit. No, they will definitely eat the ripe one. That is a proverb in Africa. Yes, once you are on top of the mango tree or whatever fruit tree it is, you are the one doing the plucking, definitely you send the ripe one to your people. You not let them eat the unripe one. That is how it is. But sadly, all of us, including myself, we criticize politicians. But the question is, when those people in position that are favoring or practicing the nepotism now, when they were toiling and fighting, where were we or where were our parents? That is the question we should. That's a new question we should. It may sound very controversial, but sometimes we need to be very practical, not always being emotional about things like this. For instance, you take a president that decides to use his brother, who is having PhD in economics, as an economic advisor. You can criticize, you can say that why is it that he's using his brother? That's what all of us would do. But the question is that person qualified enough to occupy that position? If you look at the credentials of the person, the experiences of the person, the schools that the person has been to, the achievement of the person, can we then continue to say and criticize this person is practicing nepotism? Or because he is the president, that his brother, who is also a citizen of that country, that is qualified, shouldn't be given the opportunity to serve? Is that what we are saying? Sadly, that is what we all say. But it shouldn't be so all the time. We need to look at the people on individual basis. Because the president, as a president, you cannot just take care of the whole family. So once you are the president, none of your family members should work. You can argue it out now. No, you may have some other people who are well qualified or equally qualified. That is why you decide. Why is it that you decided to give the position to your brother, your son, or your daughter? Most often than not, we all do that. But the fact is this: you can't have an unemployed economics professor in your home and you go and employ someone from far away who is also an economic professor with the same credentials or the same qualifications as your brother or your daughter or as your son. Then you go and bring someone else because people will complain. No, it shouldn't be so all the time. And for one thing that we all forget, please let's put our emotions aside and do this subjectively and do this analysis subjectively or this debate subjectively. Now, the people around us, once we decide to go into politics or we decide to sacrifice to enter into a political positions, will make a lot of sacrifices, and those people will also make sacrifices. They will be affected by a lot of things. For instance, if you are vying as the president or the running mate as the vice president, or you are even going as an MP, let's look as member of parliament, the security that you have in the past, your family will have, your children will have, has to change. Why? Because now you are a public figure and you have enemies out there. Yes, political enemies. That for a fact, whether you like it or not, that is what happened in African politics. Most of us don't understand the politics of Africa, that politics is just about debate. You say yours, I say mine. No. People take things very, 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 very out of hand. So once all those people around you, your parents, your siblings, they are all facing that, making a lot of sacrifices. You have to go and do all manner of things, sacrifice, you will not sleep, you have to go and campaign, take all the risks, traveling all over the place. Now, successfully, you've been able to achieve that position, being the president, the vice president, or minister. Now they are saying that because you are now a minister, just because of that, your brother or your sister cannot be a chief director in your ministry, even if he or she is qualified. If she is not qualified, no, there is no way the person shouldn't be there. I agree and support that. No, we shouldn't put round pegs in square holes. No, that shouldn't happen. But if the person is well qualified and the person have proven over the years that he or she can do the job, why can't we allow those people to serve in the government or in the ministries of their siblings or their relatives? We are all over the place, including myself. We criticize them. But the question is, they make sacrifices to get to those positions. But it doesn't mean that once they are occupying those positions, their children or their brothers and sisters or their siblings or cousins shouldn't work. It shouldn't be so. You hear this all over Africa, that, oh, this president has given a contract to his cousin, has given a contract to his brother, has given a contract to the sister. Please, excuse me. We can say that if the person is not qualified, or if even it's a contract, if the tendering or the tendering processes seems to be skewed towards or in favor of such a person or family member, we can talk about that. But the fact is, there is this saying that if you are close to the mountain, if the mountain is snoring, you are the one that will hear the snoring first. What that presupposes, or what that implies, is very simple. If there is an opportunity or a contract, those that you are living in the same house with as the president or as the minister, they will definitely hear about it. So if the person is qualified, he or she may have that advantage. There is nothing we can do about that. It's not possible that there will be an opportunity in a ministry. The chief director will be aware, the minister will be aware, but we are expecting that someone that lives about 100 yards far away, that person will hear about it before those living close to the minister or the chief director to hear about it. It's not possible. They will definitely hear about it, but we can make the argument or question the modality and the processes involved in taking that person. That is why once it's an opportunity about employment or something like that, let all the people apply. Yeah, they should all apply. Let them present their credentials, their CVs, so that the best can be chosen among them. You can talk about the one that is known to the minister will be favored. Yes, that is how it is. It's just like being at the right place at the right time. And we all hope and pray that those of us who are disadvantaged, including myself, will fight hard so that our children and our siblings will not go through what we are going through now. That is what we should all fight for. But not all the time criticizing people. Because when you find yourself in situations like that, it's very difficult for you to say that, oh, okay, you can talk about conflict of interest. Conflict of interest is no. Nobody should do that. Conflict of interest seems to be a bit different from this issue of this nepotism, though they overlap to some extent. But conflict of interest is something that we all say no to. No, that is not what I'm talking about. But if someone is qualified, is a director of a business, a family business, you are not a director, and you decide to issue or give that contract to the person that they bid, and a lot of people bid competitively, and they are able, based on their achievement and their former contract that they have executed, you've given that contract to that your brother, who is a director of a company, family company, that you have nothing to. We can't talk about conflict of interest. No, we cannot talk about conflict of interest, because the bidding was done by someone from the family who you may say that, oh, they may have heard about it, they may have the advantage over the others. Yes, that is opportunity comes to prepared people or those that are ready. And opportunity comes to those that are ready for it. So we just have to take it like that and know maybe they are ready for it, that's why they're able to get it. So we should try as much as possible Though the bad things in governance, will all be here to criticize and talk about it. But some of these things, some of these little things about nepotism, it doesn't mean that if you are up there, your siblings, your children, or your brothers and sisters, or your cousins should be unemployed because you are there. No, they don't eat from your pocket. They must also go about their duties. You can't be at the top there as the president and maybe your brother or your son who is well qualified, equally qualified to be Minister of Information, to be Minister of Finance, to be Minister of Education, to be Minister of Foreign Affairs, and even when it comes to some instance, the Minister of Defense. You know, those positions, you need to put someone that you trust, someone that you know very well. You can't be the president or a minister and go and bring a known person that you don't know. Sometimes it works, it helps. When you talk about Abraham Lincoln, you know, when he won the presidency, because he would like to form a very good government, he brought in opponents, that is, opposing people, to help him. And his government, though very short before he was assassinated, is one of the best in the history of United States of America. Yes, granted, we can say that, but those are about the qualification of the people. So if you have your friends or your people who are all qualified, your family members who are well qualified, and you go through the process, when it's about vetting, they are vetted, they are able to perform well. In the parliament of any other country, or those that are supposed to scrutinize the credentials of the person, successfully scrutinize and confirm that this person is qualified for the job, why must we always complain that nepotism here, nepotism there, and not nepotism all over the place? No, it shouldn't be so. Africa must wake up so that our democracy will be beautiful. If you are at the top and your brother or your sister or cousin can be able to successfully work in a given position, or take a contract and do it in execution very well, please let them be given opportunity. We shouldn't always criticize. But that is my opinion. That is my view. If you have a contrary opinion, please, I'll be very glad to hear from you. That is why the comment section is there. Kindly comment and always like everything that we do over here. Your comments and your likes will be highly appreciated. Kindly subscribe to this channel, One Forum News, for the best when it comes to politics of Africa and historical antecedents, when it comes to security and crime, and anything and everything about Africa, politics and Africa. We will be here to bring you all the best. Your comments and your likes will be highly appreciated. Once again, thank you so much. Always be in touch with us. Thank you.